Yeah, yeah. In the background right there, that's Vivian Green, Philadelphia's own Vivian Green. This album is the most slept on album this year, I believe. This thing is on fire. She needs way more props than she's getting. Because this thing is John Blaze. I'm not just saying that because she's from Philly. She deserves better. That's my word. Great talent deserves better. This thing is off the chain. That's my word. Alright. Sing that shit. I ain't lying, man. That album is, the album is called Vivid by Vivian Green. I'm co-signing that straight up and down. She's getting free advertisement by Urban Therapy with Son with, the Go Get 'Emism video. Urban Therapy with Son 752, and this is your daily Go Get 'Emism number 370 for October 8th, 2015. And today I want to talk about how we can really get stuck into thinking that the way things have been for the last 40, 50 years, or it don't have to be 40. Okay, let me put it like this. For our people, we could be talking about for the last 500 years. We could be talking about for the last 100 years. We could be talking about for the last 8 years. Or we can be talking about for the last year. You know what I'm saying? But on a personal note, when you start thinking that the way things have been when you start thinking that the way things have been are the way that they're always going to be, that's a bad position to be putting yourself in. That's a bad way to feel. Because that really means that you have absolutely no faith in change. So if you have no faith in change, that means you have no faith in change in others. You have no faith in the change of yourself. You have no faith in the change of a situation. And it's easy for a person to get caught up in believing that things are always going to be the way that they have been. Because, just think about it. We just said it. That's the way that they have been. So regardless of the things that have been changing around you, it seems like everything goes full circle and winds up right back in the same place that it used to be. I think that one of the greatest reasons for that is because we keep falling into the trap of doing things in the exact same way that we've been doing them before. And they say that that's the definition of insanity. Whether that's the truth or whether that's not. Because I'm not really sure if that's the definition of insanity. And I'm going to tell y'all why. If you play the lottery the same number every day expecting a different result, does that mean that the number that you played is never going to come out? It doesn't work that way. It does come out. So was it insane for you to stay consistent on a number that you've been feeling? No. It's not insane. So that definition of insanity has a few holes in it. Now that's not to say that you should go out and do all of the same things that you've been doing before, especially if those things haven't been working for you. But if you have achieved success in something by doing things a certain kind of way, we also have to take some things into consideration. One of the things we have to take into consideration is paying your dues. When you pay your dues, you're learning how to do something. You are learning from other people who are going to give you the benefit of their experience, but you're going to have to go through a lot of things in order to achieve something. So that's doing something in the same way and expecting a different result. I'm just saying there are holes in that theory of insanity. But I do get the part that they're talking about when they say that the definition of insanity is doing something the same way but expecting a different result. They mean that when you have never really achieved any success in what you're doing, but you don't change anything in order to make something better. Now, because the truth of the matter is, in most things, you have to do something different in order to get something different, and that's totally understandable. But we don't want to take away from or discount the fact that while you're learning, it's probably best for you to stay consistent until you can become more creative and start doing things. But sometimes we need the green light to be able to do that. The bottom line is things can change regardless of the way that they've been since forever. You know what I mean? You have to think about some of the you have to give some consideration to the station that you are in your life. Because a 20-year-old believing that the way things have been are the way they're always going to be sounds a lot less invalid than, let's say, a 50-year-old who says that the way things have been are the way that they're going to be. Because a 50-year-old has seen a whole lot more than a 20-year-old has seen. A 20-year-old thinks that a 50-year-old is too old to understand what's going on out in the world today in relation to younger people. Like a 20-year-old is going to believe that whatever they're doing right now is something new, something hip, something, something that the old heads can't understand. They don't realize that the old heads have been through the exact same thing that the young people have been through. Only things that have changed are the names, the environment, and really, sometimes some of those things haven't changed too much. You know what I mean? Like, well, anyway. So, I don't want people to ever get into the thinking that if things haven't been working out for you, that things are never going to get better for you, because they will get better for you if you try something different, if you get around different people, if you start hanging around people who are striving for more. It's going to encourage you to go for more yourself. Not because you're jealous, not because you're envious, but because you're inspired. And when you are inspired by people who know how to get something different than what you have been accustomed to or exposed to, then that's going to give you that spark to have something better in your life. So if you thinking that you're always going to be in the hood, and a lot of people act like that's what they want to be, you know what I mean? I'm hood, this is where I'm going to always be. Like Mobb Deep said, no matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects forever. But as soon as they got that money, they move right out the projects immediately. But they said that when they were very young. You see? They said it when they were very young. They didn't understand. So, that's how it goes down, man. The present condition of our people, it's easy to think that the way the world works and the way that the condition of black people are in right now is the way that the way that it's always going to be. But no, there is an awakening happening right before our eyes. But if you're not exposed to that awakening, then you think that nobody's changing anything, because you may not be exposed to it, and you may not be changing, and the people around you may not be changing. And that's why it's important to travel the world and see what other people are doing, see what other people are thinking. You know what I mean? Even if you can't travel different world, go to a different neighborhood. See if it's this. See if there are any differences there. If you can get farther than a different neighborhood, go to a different city. Even if it's just suburbs outside of where you live, a different state. See, you might find a lot of similarities, and you might find some differences, some significant differences that you can relate to. But with a lot of young people, and I don't want to stay on the youth, because I'm concerned about the youth. I love the youth. They inspire me to think that, yo, man, they might get this thing going on when we're gone, but they're going to have to learn today how to make things right for tomorrow. But, when you're young and you're impressionable, and if things haven't been going right for you, there's no reason why you should ever think that things ain't going to get better for you. You know what I mean? You can't be in despair for the rest of your life. You can't be down for the rest of your life. You got to learn, the better ways to be out there. But I want to safeguard against one thing. Don't think that you have to leave everybody behind in order to have something for yourself. Because one of the biggest problems with our people is that we have the as long as I'm all right mentality. So as long as I'm alright and my people are alright, and by their people they mean like just their kids, their immediate family. That's not good enough. And if it was good enough, then we wouldn't be in a position that we are in today. We wouldn't be in the condition that we're in today. You feel what I'm talking about? So we gotta, we gotta raise somebody up. So I can speak. I can scream each one teach one, or each one reach one, or each one teach 100 all day. It sounds just like a cliche. So this is what I'm going to say. If you did something, give somebody else something. So then that way y'all can have something. And when you give somebody else something, make sure that they give somebody else something too. And if it keeps going, yeah, then that each one teach one, each one reach one, each one teach 100, it really happens. But then it don't sound like something that just people say. Or should I say, it don't sound like something that people just say. Putting it into practice. And when you see things working, that's when you know change has come, and you know that it's real, and it gives you something to believe in, and then you start feeling better about things. And that's all I got for y'all. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember that whatever the condition that you're in today, especially if it's a bad condition, don't believe that that's the way it's going to be for the rest of your life, because some great things are in store for you if you go out and see the world, or get around other people that are in a position to give you something better than what you've had. But when you get something better than what you've had, don't leave everybody behind, because they need it just as much as you do. They need to be able to believe just like you were able to believe. They need to be able to see the change just like you were able to see it. So if you get something, make sure you give something back, and make sure that whoever you gave it to gives something to somebody else, and make sure that it keeps trickling down the line. That's what we got to do. We got to get this whole solidarity thing popping. We got to get this whole unification thing popping. We got to get this whole, I love you, I love myself, I love y'all, we love each other thing, and put that thing into practice, and then we be alright. Buy that Vivian Green album, Vivid, because that thing is on fire. It's fire. Check out this cut. I like this cut. Check this joint right here. This joint right here. This joint is on fire. What's this one? This is called I'm Not Broken. You know what I'm saying? Urban Therapy with Sun, baby. The hood is our health, baby. Daily Go Get 'Emism. Urban Therapy with Sun show. Yeah, every single day. Daily Go Get 'Emism every single day. Peace.